Good morning. Hi, guys. How was your weekend? Did you do anything fun? Jesse just got up like, are you talking to me? No, hun, I'm not. And now she's going to drink water. Fantastic. Okay, so today we're going to do these 4 little fronds. So there's this one, this one, and this big one. Obviously, you can make more if you want to, or you can just leave the 4 how they are. But we're going to do 2 different ways to do it. So we're going to do the fly stitch again, how it's meant to be, so you can see how that looks. And then we're also going to do the fern stitch, which looks... Thanks. Goodness gracious. Which looks very similar, but has very pointy angles. Instead of having it kind of loop around, it'll be really pointy. So you can choose whichever ones you want to do. They look very similar, so you probably won't be able to tell like that big of a difference. Oh God, now she's coming laid by my feet. This dog, I swear. So what I'm going to do is probably these 2 up here with the fly stitch. We've already done that one. And then these 2 down here with the fern stitch. And you can see, or maybe I'll alternate a small one and a big one. How about that? And then you can see how they look. And then if you want to choose to do all of them one way, you could do that. Or you can choose to do a mix of the both. That's fine too. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. All right, so I'm going to start over here. We'll do a fly stitch for this one. We've already done the fly stitch, so you kind of already know how to do it, but we did it over here where we squished them together. And a couple people said that they thought it took a lot of time to fill up the entire petal like that. So this is a much quicker way. So I've got 6 strands. I chose a dark green for these. I feel like the dark green works really well. $8.90. Okay. And just in the same way as we started on the other fly stitch, you're going to make 1 straight stitch for the top. You can go the left side to the right side or the right side to the left side. It doesn't matter. You're going to leave that loop and make sure you come up at the loop. Like this. But now, instead of going really close, we're going to make this last like tacking stitch go all the way down to the next one. Yeah? And then start again. Now, because this second stitch here actually holds your, like secures this right here in this position, that's why sometimes they get a bit of a rounded look to them. And by pulling harder, it doesn't actually like make it any more sharp, if that makes sense. So you kind of have to leave it the way it is or you're going to get some puckering. Now they're super, super easy fronds, I guess you could say. Greenery. You might have to make up your own little line here. The other thing, a big mistake that I find people want to make is they always put their next stitch a little bit lower. And what's going to happen if you do that is that you're going to see the white fabric in between there. So you really want to keep it like through the same hole or like literally right next to it. Like that. Because otherwise you will definitely see a space between this straight stitch and this next one. And then to end it, we're just going to shove it into that one like that. So there you go. The fly stitch, how it's meant to be instead of squishing them all together. So let's put a little knot in the back, and then we'll do the same thing to the other one. So I'm going to do it on this one so you can see how it will look different when you have different length arms, you know? You could also make these like a brown color. They could be like a twig, something like that. But it's the same idea. Obviously just working it backwards now, or upside down. Hi, George. Except with this one, we're just going to make them get bigger. These stitches here will go out, 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 and it will make this line bigger. That's all. And then after this, we'll do the fern stitch. 6 strands. You can always tell if the thread looks really round like this and put together, then it's normally 6. 3, even when you split it into 3, they look a little bit like separated. No problem. And for this one here, we're gonna stitch over this side here, and then we'll stitch over it later, you know? So it kind of looks like this one is behind the other one. So obviously this goes a lot quicker than the big yellow flower at the top, because we're not squeezing them all together to fill in a space. So anytime that you have to fill in something specifically, ouch. What was that? I feel like something just bit me, like a mosquito or something. But yeah, anytime that you have to fill something in, it's gonna take longer, no matter if it's satin stitch, if it's a split stitch, no matter what it is, it's gonna take longer. Something that has, let's see how we can do this here. Like that, like it's peeking. Something that has more space around the stitches will always be a little bit quicker. So for the very last one, we're just gonna tuck it in as well, like that. So I'll zoom out. We've done 2. And again, I've chosen this really dark green. It really is a gorgeous color. I've been really into like dark paint colors recently. So I've just painted, I say we, I've just painted like basically the entire house white except for our bedroom. I feel like I might want to paint the bedroom again. So normally I'm in charge of all that kind of stuff. But like how gorgeous would like a really dark green like that look? And we've got like a natural wooden bed. I think it would look really cool. Okay, so for the next one, we're going to do the fern stitch. And the fern stitch is just straight stitches that make a pattern. So it's always really easy to remember the difference, because these ones right here, because they're a little bit bent like that, they look like they're flying away, so it's the fly stitch. You know, like when you were kids and you used to make birds like that, like on paper. Does anyone else used to do that? You guys are gonna think I'm crazy. You probably already do. But when you were growing up, did you ever do birds in the sky like this? like that. So you'd have like your sun, and like these would be like the birds. So that's kind of how I remember, because they kind of look like that kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just me. All right. Just good. It's all right. Don't worry about it, guys. It's just me being Melanie says that she did that too. So, okay, I'm not the only one. So let's zoom in and I'll show you the fern stitch, which has really straight points. And it's just straight stitches that are arranged in a way to make these lines, or to make this pattern. Let's zoom it in. My sister-in-law puts them in her cross stitch because she's obsessed with Bob Ross. Yes. My mom, Robin, says, I still do. But yeah, so that's kind of how I tell the two apart. So you can always tell the fly stitch because they look like they're... Jessie, girl, if you put your face under my foot, then of course I'm going to step on it. So with the fly stitch, they're just secured underneath here, underneath this stitch. So it's just one big long stitch and they look like they're flying away. And these fern stitches are really, really straight and pointy. So let me show you these. So each one of these is going to be 3 stitches. So 1, down the same hole, 2, oh no, it always happens. It's because I make my thread too long. I should just learn my lesson. Okay, and then 3, same hole. Now, obviously, we cannot start the next one in the same way that we started the first one because we've just gone down through this hole, so we can't go up through this hole to start the next one. So we'll just move right back down here. Same hole. And then back to the sides. And try your best to make them through the same hole each time. Come on. There we go. And then again, down here and then up. So it's literally just the straight stitch. But arranged in a specific way. Okay. I thought there was a knot, but there wasn't. And then for this one, I'm just going to shove this down in there, so maybe you can't see it so much. There we go. Flip her over and the back looks like that. So you can also tell the difference because of the backs. The backs of a fly stitch always look like this. They always will. They always will. And the backs of a fern stitch will look like this. Hello. So let me snip this one and we'll do the other one. Obviously you can add more of these. I would wait until the very last day, which will be a detail day. It's not this Friday, but next Friday. So in 10 days, 10 stitching days, if you know what I mean. The very last day of the stitch along, we will go over some details and things that you can do to add a little bit, and some things some people have already done, which is fine. Like add some small little bursts of straight stitches in here just to give it a little something. Yeah, just some little things that you can do to add. I don't want to tell you all of them now because then you'll just do them all. Okay, let's do this properly so I don't make it fall over. So same. exactly the same way. So whenever I do this, I always ask people which one they like better, the fly stitch or the fern stitch. Sometimes I think when I'm like running low on time and I just want to stitch it up quickly, I'll choose the fly stitch because it goes quicker. Do you know what I mean? Because it's only 2 stitches to make the same thing that this one uses more stitches for. It's getting to be that time where it's not very nice in the morning. Like the sun isn't as high up as it is in the summer. But if I want those nice crisp lines, I always go for fern stitch because they will make a really nice point there. I'm going to do some videos today for the Christmas kits. And then after those are done, they're all going to get packed up and sent probably tomorrow because I want to include the links in the box. So that's exciting. And then you guys will have some videos to watch as well as like written instructions. So that's like super fun. I'm excited to do those. They're always a bit boring though when you do the videos by yourself because it's a little bit like you're just talking to yourself the entire time, you know? So for the very last one, I'm just going to do 1 long straight stitch. And we'll see how that looks. Oh, thanks. She says your nails look, my mom says your nails look so good. I love the color. In fact, I think all 3 of us have chose the same color. This one, it's like an orangey red with sparkles in it. I didn't think you had that one. But there we go. So let me do a little knot. Chosen. And this is what we've got so far. Yeah, that's all the way. So there we go. So we've got fern stitch, fly stitch, fern stitch, fly stitch. So have a go, try them both. If you have to, hi Mary, get your practice hoop. If you've got a practice hoop, get your practice hoop and try them both. And that way you don't have to pick them out if you don't like them. But honestly, they look so similar. It's more a process situation and not necessarily how they look situation. Because I know some people have been choosing to not follow the stitches each day. Do you know what I mean? And that's completely fine. Like, don't think I'm going to get mad. I'm not going to get mad. It's really, like, I encourage you to, like, try them all and see which ones that you like, you know? But with these ones, definitely try them both. They will look very similar. It's more a process thing. So some people prefer the motions of doing one stitch over another one. Does that make sense? So with that, Monday's finished. All done. So I'll put a little box in my stories, Fern Stitch or Fly Stitch, and y'all can vote which one that you like better. And that's all from me. That's it from me. That's all I've got today. So I hope you enjoy your day, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. All right? Bye.